move to the very important part. Why invest Japan now? I think Japan investment in Japan makes sense to me and makes sense to Singapore, makes sense to everybody, because the country offers once in 30 years opportunity to invest. It's actually some unprecedented event happening from the year 2022 when I mean post-COVID, many changes in Japan are positive in terms of property investment. One good beauty of that is the exchange rate is very low. You Singaporean, Americans, Europeans, Taiwanese, everybody except for Japanese, they have the very strong currency against Japanese yen. So actually everything happened February 2022. So it's like 2 years ago when the US started raising their cash rate. Originally almost 0%, now it's 5.25%. And if US raise the rate, many countries have to follow. Europe doesn't need to follow, but they have bad inflation. They actually forced to raise rent. Japan has difference. We don't have very severe inflation. We just using very keep the interest rate very low still now. That means that many businesses or like pension funds, they can borrow very cheap loan from Japan and they can invest in the US or any other country. That means people buy US dollar, people sell Japanese yen. That means Japanese yen exchange rate is 30% discounted compared with here. Yeah. And another beauty is that Japanese share price is probably the best performer in 2024. The Nikkei index, they started from 33,000. And now, actually only 2 days ago, they hit the peak, which was 42,000 and 26.8% increase in half year, which is unbelievable for us. But it looks the big change from the Japanese yen perspective. But when we see the things from the other currencies, because the Japanese yen drops against the US dollars from the beginning of this year to now, Japanese yen drops 14%. That means like 26% in local currency terms, it's increased to 26%, but the currency drops 14%. That means from the US dollar term, it's only increased 12%. And many people think it's still cheap, still affordable. And then people keep buying Japanese shares. We are including myself, we are domestic investors, always invest Japanese share. But now, rich Chinese are the big buyers. They don't like the country. They move money, sometimes physically move their family to settle in Japan. Those people are buying. And also these days, the Middle East, like petrol riches, they are buying. Canadian pension fund is also buying because they don't think it is overpriced because of the drop in yen. So it is very big changes. And one beautiful thing is when the Nikkei index This is a red color. Yeah. Yeah. Nikkei index increases. Then the Tokyo CBD apartment price also increased. They have the interval of about 6 months interval. That means you see that this guy start dropping here, and apartment price dropping after 6 months. But basically they follow the trend. Yeah. Because in CBD, maybe similar to Singapore CBD or London CBD, for the average salary earner, they cannot buy CBD properties. They have to buy outside of CBD. So the buyer of CBD, basically they are financial riches. They have many shares, international shares, or dividend. And when the share price goes up, actually they are more richer, and they keep buying CBD property. This actually explains why those things happen, because high net worth people, both domestic and international, could get richer when their share price are higher and they buy properties. So I personally, I cannot afford CBD apartment because it's very expensive, but I buy somewhere near the CBD, like Koto. It's not considered CBD, but it's very close. Only 2-3 kilometers. I buy here Meguro. This is not considered CBD, but it's actually the CBD price hike. Actually, they moved to the neighboring area, and we benefit from that. Yeah. One tip I say that I personally invest 8 kilometers radius from the center of Tokyo. Center of Tokyo is Imperial Palace, probably you know. In front of Tokyo Station they have Imperial Palace. I just keep buying 8 kilometers radius. It's roughly the half of Tokyo in diameter. Yeah. And it's very safe investment. And one beauty is that even though their property price rises in Japanese yen, but it's Japanese yen dropping, from the overseas perspective, again, they don't think it rises a lot. Yeah. So many people, Singaporean, Hong Kong, Taiwanese people, they're still buying. Chinese mainlanders buying a lot more. Yeah. Tokyo and other cities, properties, Korean buyers too. Yeah. So actually, the what beauty is that the not local economy is good, but the local shares and property is in very good, healthy growth stage, and at the same time the currency is dropping. So actually, it still attracts many international buyers. So the trend continues. Yeah. And nowadays, we see so many Chinese rich people. They migrate to Japan, and they become my neighbor because I live in near CBD. Probably it happened in Singapore too. Yeah, I think it happened to Japan too. So our community, like our district, has the most concentration of Chinese nationals who regularly live in my place. Yeah. Some people, they don't like the education, or maybe they want more secure, or more kids-friendly place. So they move to Japan. They keep buying properties as a resident. So this is what I think. And overall, I think many other, especially China, everybody knows the property market is not good because they are crashing. Yeah. Korea similar. Korea is a country where when the US rate is raised, their own cash rate has to raise, and they have a higher mortgage rate. They have less people buying property, and so properties are dropping. Southeast Asia in general, I think it's better looking. But in general, freehold land ownership is usually difficult. Say, for example, I purchased Bali guest house, Indonesia, but this is like a leasehold. I do the lease, 30 years lease with the Indonesian landlord. Yeah, so it's not my ownership. I purchased one condo in Thailand. Thailand, we can buy condo, but land is not. But Japan, you can buy land or landed property with no restriction. It's similar to US or UK. So that's one good thing, and also they have mature legal systems, stable rental and resale market. Yeah, for the good location, you can sell it very easy. So those are all overall environment that Japan offers, which is very good for investment. Yes. And every chapter I do the coffee break so that we can say, the content more easier to understand. I'm living in Japan. I just see Japanese yen exchange rate drops, keep dropping for 2 years. Many people complain because they didn't do anything. But I used to live in Australia. I have experienced when Aussie dollars drops, what I did. So I already experienced what I have to do. And I think Japan weekend is very good chance for me to build the wealth as well. What I do is, I do three things. One thing is, Japan interest rate is very low, 2% or even less than 2% still. So I use the low interest rate and I bought 3 apartments, actually 2 in Tokyo, 1 in Osaka, from 2023. And I think this is the benefit to live in Japan. Another thing is I buy shares and manage fund. I think many people do that. The thing is, Japanese yen drops 14% against the US dollars in this year, but shares actually it gains 26%. So actually, usually I don't lose if I invest in the share market. Yeah. And another thing is I have Airbnb guest house. This one I recently operated. It's near Tokyo's Narita Airport in the countryside. Many people, foreign tourists, they use the Narita Airport. Actually, they relax in this guest house. And I have 3 of those, and those are doing very good. So many foreign tourists come to Japan. So I'm very thankful for that.